Are you looking to increase your FPS by 30 or more, lower your temperatures, or just overall optimize your computer? Well, if so, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the many ways from my hours of research to increase your PC's performance to attain its full potential. Keep in mind, I am on Windows 11, so if you are Windows 10, you should be fine. It's just everything's going to be placed a little bit differently. I also have an Nvidia graphics card, so if you have an AMD or an Intel graphics card, then just don't change any GPU settings. Lastly, this video is from low-end to mid-end PC users, so if you have a high-end PC, I don't suggest you doing all the optimizations I'm going to be doing in this video. Right before we get into the video, I just want to thank you all for all the support I got in the last one. I do understand that there was a couple problems in the video, but this one should have zero problems, and actually is going to be some more stuff in here that will help your PC out. But yeah, I really appreciated all the likes and comments I got. It really helped me out. I've learned a lot more since I made that video, so yeah, enough talking. Let's get into it. Alright, we're in here. As you can see, a fresh Windows 11. So first thing we're going to do, no matter what, you always want to do this. Make a restore point. 100%. Create restore point. You come in here, you'll see this little box pop up. If you can't create a restore point, you have to come in here, configure it. But as you can see, we can. So yes, click on this. We're just going to call this restore point 1. And boom, there you go. The restore point was created successfully. The restore point basically just makes sure that if you have any problems on your computer, you can just restore back to this point when your computer was working. So yeah, we're good with this. Click OK. In the last video, we didn't do any benchmarking. So if you do want to check your PC's performance before versus after, and stay with me. If you'd like to just skip to the next part, go to this point in the video. Alright, the first thing we're going to be doing is going to NZXT Cam. We're going to be downloading this. As you can see, it's right here. Link will be in the description below. You'll come to this website and you'll click download cam and then come up here and download it. Basically, we just downloaded this to check our temperatures and you can check your clock speeds. Exit out of this. Next thing we're going to be looking up is MSI Afterburner. As you can see here, click on this. Link will also be in the description below. Me personally, I'm going to download this one. This one is a zip file, so we're going to extract this one. So right click it and you'll see extract all, extract. There we go. Click this. You can just check the MSI Afterburner. You don't have to check this one. And then click install. Accept these terms. Next. And then, yep, install. There we go. Finish. Once again, I'm going to check this and click finish again. As you can see here, we're in MSI Afterburner. It shows your GPU clock speeds, temperatures. Also, we can get it to show our FPS. To be able to see your frame rate in game, click the settings. It's going to pop up this window. You're going to click the monitoring tab. Now you're going to scroll down here until you see frame rate. Make sure this is checked. And then click it and make sure you click show an on-screen display. After you do that, click apply and OK. Once you exit out all of that, go to the Microsoft Store and you're going to look up Cinebench and you're going to download this as well. Basically, this is going to benchmark your CPU. It's going to give you a score depending on your performance. If NZXT Cam doesn't pop up when you try to open it up, you have to go into Task Manager and end it real quick and go back and then open it. It should open here. Let's see. Yep, there you go. Alright, so we're going to have Cinebench in the top left and NZXT Cam in the bottom right. I just want to make sure my temperatures don't go anything above 75 Celsius. Alright, now we're going to run the CPU multi-core stress test in Cinebench. So you're going to click start here. You'll see, go back to NZXT Cam. You'll see the load will go up to probably 99% and the temperature will also go up. Just make sure it doesn't go anything above 75 Celsius, I'd say. So it looks like our max temperature is around 69 Celsius, 68, 69 Celsious. Let's see the score we get. Alright, your score's gonna be different than mine, but I got 18,630 points. So I'm gonna write down the score and the temperature in my notes real quick. Alright, once you're done with that, we're gonna exit out of this. Alright, so me personally, I'm gonna use Apex Legends as my benchmarking game. Alright, we're in Apex Legends. As you can see, the FPS is in the top left. I have ultra high settings on. It's ranging from about 140 to about 155 FPS. If you're not seeing the FPS count on the top left, make sure you have MSI Afterburner open. Alright, so now I'm gonna write 140 to 155 FPS in my notes. Alright, and as you can see here, I wrote down all of our benchmark scores. So before we did anything, this is what our scores were. So the Cinebench was 18,630 at 68 Celsius, and then our Apex Legends FPS count was 140 to 155 FPS. So yeah, make sure you write down all the scores that you got on yours. And now it's time to move on to the optimizations. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna be looking at our processes and threads. So open up Task Manager. So once you open this up, go to Performance, and if you come down here, you can see your processes, threads, and handles. Me personally, I have 265 processes, about 6,700 threads, 160,000 handles. And once again, I'm going to write all those down. So yeah, I just want you to keep that in mind. We're going to drop that a lot by the end of this video. So yeah, after you check that, I want you to come down here to Startup Apps. You'll see there's a ton of apps in here that are all enabled whenever you start your computer. Every app that you know you aren't going to use when you start up your computer, just disable it. So I'm just going to go through all of these and disable the ones I know I can turn off. Alright, as you can see here, I disabled most of the things I do not need. So yeah, once you're done with that, exit out of that. Next thing I want you to do is open up your settings. Now we're going to go through each one of these tabs and we're going to optimize our settings to get the best performance. So click on System and go to Display. Alright, first thing in here is HDR. If your monitor is compatible with this, turn this setting on. If you click on the HDR tab, you'll see Auto HDR down here. So if you're Windows 10, I don't suggest you turning this on, but if you're Windows 11, yeah, it should be perfectly fine. Alright, now we're going to come down here to Advanced Display. Make sure you go to both your monitors and check that the refresh rate is at the highest possible. So my Display 1 is good, is at 240 basically. Display 2, see it was at 60. You always want to turn this up because it's actually the max amount of FPS your monitor can handle. Our next thing you want to do is you want to click graphics, and then you come up here to change default graphics settings. And for hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, you actually want to turn this to off, and you will have to restart your PC to apply these changes. Once you're done with that, come to Bluetooth and devices and come down here to mouse, then click additional mouse settings. Once you're in mouse properties, come to pointer options. You'll see this box, enhance pointer precision. This is mostly personal preference, so depending on if you like it or not, you can turn it on or off. All right, once you're done with that, come in here to personalization and come down here to colors. Once you're in here, you'll see transparency effects, turn this to off. This won't increase your FPS, but definitely turn your PC to dark mode if it's not already. Come down here to lock screen, and you'll see this Windows Spotlight, weather, and more. Choose none on lock screen status. This once again just gives you a slight performance boost. Most of these settings are just based on your preference, but you're gonna come down here to taskbar. I personally like to do this. I feel like it looks the best and it gives you the best performance. So search box, I like to do search icon and label, and I turn all of these off just to most performance as possible. Other system tray icons, I like to turn everything off. Next thing, come into start here, and you'll see all of these are turned on. If you want the most performance, you can turn these all off. I personally am. All right, we're all good with the personalization tab. Next, we're on to the apps. So first thing you want to do when you're in here, installed apps, go through these, all the ones you know you don't want or need, because look, you'll see Microsoft Corporation. They have a bunch of just random apps that are on here, and you probably don't want those. Just go in and uninstall them all. Like camera, I'm uninstalling it. Cortana, I personally don't like this, I'm uninstalling it. Feedback hub, uninstalling it. I have to get rid of everything on here that's on my phone. All right, once you're done uninstalling all of those, back out again, and now we're good with the apps tab. And now you're gonna come into the gaming tab, and you're gonna click game bar. Make sure you have this turned off. This will increase your performance a little bit. Back out of this and come into game mode. So for game mode, it's very iffy. So if you have a higher end to mid end PC, I suggest you keeping this off. And if you have a low end PC, I suggest you turning this on. I personally am gonna turn this off, but I definitely suggest you to try it out on your own and to try it on and off. Just from what I've seen, it can vary depending on your computer. Once you're done with this, come down here to privacy and security. This part is optional. If you do want the most performance, I definitely suggest you trying this out. It doesn't hurt to try to get extra processes down. So you're gonna be going through all these and turning them all off. So general, turn off all of these settings. Back, speech, turn that off. Inking and typing personalization, turn that off. Diagnostics and feedback, turn this off, as well as all of these. Activity history to off. Search permissions, turn these all off. And then lastly, go into your Windows update and do all your updates. Actually, an update right here. And then yeah, we're good with all this. Exit out. Next you're gonna do is you're gonna type in view advanced system settings. Once this pops up, go to advanced. You'll see performance, click settings, and you'll see all of these. You're gonna do adjust for best performance. The third to keep on is enable peak, save taskbar thumbnail previews, and smooth edges of screen fonts. Once you do that, click apply, okay. All right, next thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be going to our power plan. So once you get into this screen, you're gonna click change advanced power settings. It's gonna pop up this little window. So I have balanced, high performance, and power saver. I'm gonna turn on high performance, but if you have ultimate performance, definitely turn that on. Once you turn on your high performance plan, you're gonna come down here and make sure you have all maximum performance. So JavaScript timer frequency is max performance, power saving mode is maximum performance, and then the minimum power state, so it can go from 0 to 10%. I did say 100% in the last video. I wouldn't suggest that because it won't let your PC idle properly. I personally am gonna keep mine on 0 and then my max at 100, but 100%, make sure your max is at 100% if you want the most performance. I do have a quick solution to CPU temperature problems. I don't suggest it because you will lose performance, but you can turn this to 99% and it'll drop your temperatures a lot. Just keep in mind, if you do this, you will lose performance. If you want to learn how to properly decrease your CPU and GPU temperatures, I suggest you to watch the video I made in the top right. Any settings down here, just make sure you optimize performance. And now we're done with this, so you can click apply and okay. All right, the next thing we're going to be doing is we're using Titus Text, the ultimate Windows utility. I used this in the last video. It seemed like everybody got great results from it. So we're going to be using this again. Once again, link will be in the description below. All right, so once you're in here and see this link down here, you're going to click copy. Go into your search bar and type in Windows PowerShell. Looks just like this. You're going to right click it and you're going to run it as administrator. Once this opens up, you're going to paste what you copied. So Control V and click enter. And it's going to pop up this big old dashboard. You're going to go to the tweaks tab and then you're going to click standard. You can turn off whichever ones you don't want. I personally actually added one on, which is the blow edge, because I know I'm not going to use that. And as you can see up here, it does say it's going to create a restore point. So keep that in mind. So once you're done checking all these off, click run tweaks. Come back to here. As you can see, it's creating a restore point. And just let it work its magic. It's going to be here for a little bit. All right, and boom, just like that, it's done. It actually cleared a lot of space for me. I'm going to click OK on this. As you can see in here, it says tweaks are finished. You can X out of this. We're actually going to go back to Task Manager, and now we're going to check before versus after just this. Just from what we've done to this point, this is what we had before. This is what we have after. So we dropped about 50 processes, 2,500 threads, 500,000 handles. So as you can tell, everything is legit. We are making progress. As you can see, it's a big jump from what we had originally, and we still have many more things to change. All right, you can exit out all of this. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is you're gonna go into your services. It's gonna pop up this window. I'm gonna full screen it. First thing we're doing here is you're gonna scroll to the very bottom. The biggest ones in here are gonna be the Xbox Lives at the very bottom 3. So I'm gonna click this, change it from manual to disabled, apply, okay. Same thing with these 2 down here. And now we're going to be going through all the services you can disable A through Z. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, so if you need to, pause the video. First service you can disable is the BitLocker. Double click it. Disabled, apply, okay. The next thing you can disable is the connected user experiences. Double click this, make sure you click stop, and then disable this, click apply and okay. You can do downloaded maps manager. Once again, disabled, apply, okay. You can do the distributed link tracking client, and then you can do the downloaded maps manager. Make sure you do the same thing, stop, disabled, apply, okay. You can do internet connection sharing. You can do net logon. You can do parental controls. You can do program compatibility assistance service. You can do Windows image. You can do Windows camera frame. Make sure it's the top one. You can do Windows Insider Service. Alright, once you're done with that, exit out. Now you're going to go into Task Scheduler. Once you're in here, you're going to go to Task Scheduler Library on the left. And you're going to go through and disable each one you know that you can turn off. Like, I don't use Microsoft Edge, so I'm going to disable both of these. OneDrive reporting task, I'm going to disable that. I don't really have that many, but you might have more than me, so just make sure you can turn those off. And once you're done with that, once again, exit out. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go into Device Manager. You'll see this window. I'm going to full screen it. Go to your network adapters. Mine personally is Intel Ethernet controller, but yours might be Realtek. Double click this. It's going to pop up this little window. Go to Advanced. Now you're just going to copy my settings. So ARP offload, you're going to disable this. Flow control, you're going to disable this. IPv4 checksum offload, you're going to disable this. Interrupt to moderation, you're going to disable this. Jumbo packing, you're going to disable if you haven't already. You can disable both the large send offloads. NS offload, you can disable this. Packet priority and VLAN, make sure this is enabled. Make sure speed and duplex are on auto negotiation. Scroll down here and make sure both the TCPs are enabled and the UDPs are both disabled. And then you can disable all 3 of these. And then go to power management, and you can check this box if you'd like, and then click OK and X out of this. But the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be downloading the Nvidia Profile Inspector. Once again, link will be in the description. To download it, you're going to click this. It's going to be a zip file. Go to your files, downloads, make sure you extract it, extract all, and then I'm going to double click this, and we are in here. Once again, this little window will pop up. I'm going to full screen it. Once you're in here, you'll notice this looks kind of confusing, but it's really not. Just think of it as a tweaked up Nvidia control panel. I already have all my settings done, so I'm just going to go through all the ones that are optional. All right, the first setting is going to be maximum per 100 frames. So if you have a low-end PC, you're going to use the 3 application setting. But if you have an okay or better PC, you can definitely use 1. Other than that, you can just copy down all my settings. So I'm just going to leave this on the screen. A very important feature inside of Nvidia Profile Inspector is Resizable Bar. If you turn this on, it can increase your FPS a lot, but you have to make sure your GPU and CPU are compatible with it, or else it could actually decrease your performance. I'm going to show all the PC components. Just make sure your PC is 100% compatible. Pause the video if you need to. If your PC is compatible with Resizable Bar, I want you to minimize out of Nvidia Profile Inspector. Now you're going to click Windows X. Then you're going to click Disk Management. It's going to pop up this window. You're going to go to your C drive, right click Disk 0, and then click Properties. It's going to pop up this little window. You're going to click Volumes, and then you're going to find your partition style. If it is GUID Partition Table GPT, then it is compatible. So if it is compatible, we're going to go back to Nvidia Profile Inspector, and you're going to enable RBAR feature. RBAR options, you're going to put it at 1. RBAR size limit, you're going to put it at the 4. Make sure it's the Red Dead Redemption 2. And for your cache size, you can make it 10 gigabytes. I personally am going to make it 100 gigabytes. Once you do that, make sure you click Apply Changes in the top right. Then you're going to exit out of this. You have to enable Resizable Bar inside your BIOS first for it to work. I'm also going to show you a couple good settings to change inside your BIOS. So yeah, I'm going to switch my phone real quick. Alright, now I'm on my phone. Basically, how you get inside your BIOS, you're going to go to your settings, system, go to recovery, advanced startup, restart now. Then this screen is going to pop up. You're going to click troubleshoot, advanced options, UEFI firmware settings. Restart one more time, and then boom, there you go. This is going to pop up. A super important setting in your BIOS is extreme memory profile, otherwise known as XMP. Make sure you change this from disabled to profile 1, and then that should be good. Your BIOS may look a little bit different than mine. I personally have an AORS motherboard. Unfortunately, I don't have another way to show any other types, so you may have to look it up depending on your motherboard. But for me personally, to get to Resizable Bar, you got to click Settings, IO ports, and you have to enable 4G decoding. This might be a thing you have to do. Change Resizable Bar to auto or enabled, and then you can save and exit your BIOS. All right, once you're done with that, you're gonna go into your Nvidia control panel. It should already be downloaded if you have an Nvidia graphics card, but if for some reason it isn't, I'll put the link in the description below for you to download it. So yeah, we're gonna open it. It's gonna pop out this window. You're gonna click this, and you're gonna change it to performance, but then you're gonna click this to use the advanced 3D image settings. Once again, I do have all my settings done, so I'm just gonna go through all the optional ones for your preference. All right, the most important one in here that's all preference in here is low latency mode. So if you turn this on, your latency will be less, but your FPS will also drop a little bit. Turn this off if you want the most FPS, but me personally, I'm gonna turn this on because I have plenty of FPS. Now that we're done with that, I'm gonna scroll through my settings, so pause the video if you need to. Once you've applied that, go to configure surround. You'll see processor. I personally suggest you use your GPU here. Next, we're gonna go to change resolution. Just make sure your refresh rates are the highest possible and on the native settings. But yeah, me personally, I like to do full screen. G-Sync, once again, it's a very debatable option. Just depends on your preference. I personally am gonna turn this off. And yeah, we're all good here, so exit out of this. All right, and the last thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be downloading the Nvidia app. Once again, link will be in the description below. Download beta. Make sure you select game ready driver. If you need to update your drivers, make sure you do that. Also, if you'd like, you can perform a clean install of a driver. Then you're going to go into graphics, then the global settings. Pause the video and copy my settings. Other than shader cache size, you can turn that to 10 gigabytes if you did that previously. And once you're done with that, you're going to go to system, performance, and you're going to do this automatic tuning. This is going to take a while, but it's going to boost your FPS a lot. So check that, agree and continue. I'll get back to y'all whenever this is done. All right, it took about 45 minutes, but here's the results. The GPU tuning went up 114 and the VRAM tuning went up 200. So yeah, once you're done with this, you can exit out. All right, just reset my PC and now we're going to benchmark the after results. So we're going to open up Cinebench. We have NZXT cam open. Then we're going to do the multi-core stress test. Start. Let's watch NZXT cam. So in the after, we got 66 Celsius, and we got a score of 19,000. As you can see here, we actually went down a little bit in temperature, and we also increased our CPU score by about 400. Now let's exit out of this. We're gonna open up MSI Afterburner, as well as Apex Legends. As you can see here, I'm getting about 180 to about 190 in FPS now. All right, and this is the final result. So before we had a score of 18,630 at 68 Celsius, and we had FPS ranging from 140 to 155. We had 265 processes, 6,700 threads, 160,000 handles. And also you gotta remember, I just reset my PC, so I didn't even have a lot of processes. Y'all probably have a lot more than this. And in the after results, we got a score of 19,000 at 66 Celsius. So we actually went down in temperature and up in score. And then we increased our FPS by about 30. We dropped our processes over 100. We almost halved our threads, as well as almost halving our handles. I know I didn't do any benchmarks in my last one, but here's the proof that this actually works and it's trustable. I'm gonna be looking forward to dropping more content like this. If I helped you out, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If y'all have any questions, drop a comment. I'm gonna keep posting these educational type videos, so if y'all have any recommendations, drop a comment. I appreciate all y'all watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.